On today's episode, we're going to be going to Utah. The flight from Delta Airlines was $238.95 for 3 days. When we landed, we headed to the first landmark, which is Utah State Capitol. This is the house for Utah State government, and we're just looking at the sculptures and history it has inside the buildings. Next, we went to eat at Dave's Hot Chicken, where I got 2 chicken sliders, fries, and a lemonade for $22.22. And finally, we went to go watch the sunset on top of a mountain. The first day was just a chill, relaxed vibe after a 5-hour flight, and watching the sunset was a perfect way to end the day. The next day, we went to Smith's to buy water and bananas that we're going to need for these 2 big trips today, and I bought it for $4.54. Then we went to Panda Express, where I got fried rice and orange chicken for $11.75. Afterwards, we were finally on our way to the first trip, which is going to be at Tempango's Cave National Monument. In order to get to the cave, you have to hike half a mile to the top, which took about 30 to 45 minutes. And one thing I like about Utah is the mountains that they have, since we don't have any in Florida. Once we made it inside the cave, the tour guide was giving us the rules and regulations for the tour. The tour lasted about an hour, and this was pretty cool. I felt like Indiana Jones, walking through dark passages, narrow spaces, ducking my head, watching my every step. Overall, this experience was a 10 out of 10. After the tour, we went to a gift shop to get a souvenir, where I got a hat that says Tempango's Cave National Monument for $25. Next, for the second trip, we're going to be hiking Silver Lake. This was going to be a 4.5 mile hike, which is about 3 hours long, which ultimately ends at Silver Lake. This was my first time doing a major hike, and I enjoyed it. Just walking through nature, crossing creeks, it's just a nice way to relax in a peaceful setting. And after hiking 2.5 miles, we finally made it to the lake, and the views were insane. Once we got there, I got into the water, and it just felt like a liberating moment. It was cold, kind of like an ice bath, but it was just nice and relaxing. Then we started going downhill, and the hike down is way faster than going upwards. But as we're leaving, we see from a distance a bear or a moose. I don't even know, but that is crazy. I never see that. And I don't know, it was just insane, and it was pretty cool to see. And finally, we ended the day by getting pizza for $11.65. The next morning and our final day at Utah, we're on our way to the last stop, which is the Salt Flats. The Salt Flats are 30,000 acres of pure salt, and it looks like you're in the middle of nowhere. And as we were there, we saw a mountain from a distance, so we decided to hike it, because why not? You know, it's the last day. I didn't record much of the hike, but getting to the top is the best feeling, because it feels like you accomplished something, and it was just a good way to end the trip. And after adding all our expenses, our trip to Utah was $314.11. And that wraps up another episode of Traveling Across America. If you haven't already, follow all social media pages so you don't miss out on any updates, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because episode 7 is out now, where I vlog and release a podcast the following week. But anyways, this is our 7th Polaroid end state of this series, which is Utah.